Morning, Stephen Moody here with my IRONMAN Texas vlog, part 2. This month we're going to focus on weight management because A, it's one of my pressing concerns, and B, as you can see from comments on the YouTube channel and WhatsApp I received, there's a fair bit of interest on this topic. By the way, they're all well-meaning, they're all good friends that are writing these comments, so don't worry about it, and I give as good as I get. So what I'm going to cover in this vlog is I'm going to cover where I'm at, where I've got to since last month, and I'll do that in Scores and Outdoors. Not a bad story. I'm also going to tell you why I need to focus on this, despite I'm going to be training up to 12, 14, 16 hours a week for the IRONMAN Texas. And I'm also going to show you what I've done so far, what changes I've made and what changes I'm still considering that will help me manage my weight better. I'm also fulfilling my promise. This is brought to you live via my selfie stick. Ooh, equipment, tax deductible. A bit of movement, because every single morning I start off with a quick walk to He Who Must Be Answered. There he is, over my shoulder, my garment scales, where I will weigh in. I'll see if I'm moving in the right direction, or I'll panic and start eating kale for the rest of the day. I'm also going to cut off now because I actually need to strip down to the bare essentials to give myself the best chance. This is all done al fresco, and you guys do not need to see that. We'll check in slightly later. So this month's blog is about weight management, and a question I get asked a lot: with all the training, why do you need to worry about getting into race weight? And on the whole, my diet is very good. I have a good healthy breakfast, a day, lunch and dinner, and I'll talk about what I actually eat in the next section. But this is my Achilles heel. In our house, there's always going to be a healthy option, and unfortunately, it's way too easy to find an unhealthy option. And my problem is that I always fall for the wrong thing. Okay, so what am I doing about my weight management? I started 3 things, and there's a couple of things I'm going to look at later on. First off, I've started tracking my metrics more closely. That means I weigh in every single day on my pretty cool Garmin index scales, which is uploads my weight, my BMI, body fat percentage, probably the more important figure actually, into my Garmin Connect and up to Training Peaks. So I can always look and see exactly what it was at a certain time. And we all know I'm trying to get down to around 65 kg, which I know was my PB race weight. So having that information all on that calendar timeline is really, really valuable. So if you haven't got one and you're looking for a scales, great piece of kit. As I said, link to how to get the buy the scales in the comments below. Also, a key thing to note about monitoring weight: I'm not worrying about day-to-day fluctuations, even though I'm doing daily. That's because I just want to see the curve. As long as my weight is going down over time, it doesn't matter if it jumps up a little bit, goes down a bit, because that can change to water retention, etc. So that's what I'm measuring there. I'm also measuring what I'm putting in my gob, which, as you can see, I tend to put anything sugary into it I can. And that's by using the app MyFitnessPal. This also syncs with Garmin Connect, and Training Peaks are kind of cool. So what it does, as you can see on the screen now, it you capture what you eat, and it gives you the calories you've eaten. It gives you your target for the day, depending on what set up, but also syncs with what the calories you burnt from exercise. Now, I take this with a pinch of salt because sometimes that overestimates it, but it's really cool kind of know. And also it gives me a little bit of accountability because you have to log what you're eating each time. So you're reaching for the extra Snickers bar and you go like, ooh, I have to put that in. Maybe I won't. And it's kind of cool. You can set up meals, and you can set up, you can scan things, and then it uploads because it have all that in the database. Although if you're scanning a lot of things, it means you're eating a lot of processed crap. Not great. That's the first thing I've started to do. The second thing I've started to do is increase my own accountability, and I'm using my friends on this. I already have the accountability when I'm putting my mouth with my fitness app, but I also have the accountability with my kind of my friends who are all middle-aged and fighting the good battle of the bulge. Not all of them are training for triathlons, training for park runs, etc. And we have this fairly politically incorrect WhatsApp group called Fat Camp. Yep. Was I didn't name it. But anyhow, it's you have to weigh in and you have to send a screenshot of your weighing scales every kind of Thursday. It just puts it right in front and center, and you sort of go, "Oh no, I've got to weigh in, and I was up last week, la la la," and it does it does reinforce the yourself on that kind of keeping yourself clean journey. I tend not to eat an awful lot on a Wednesday evening actually, but that's me just trying to cheat the system. But yourself can set up that for accountability, have a training buddy, etc., and just share that info. It's really reinforcing. Third thing I'm doing training wise, I obviously up my training, and but what I'm doing specifically to kind of knock a little bit of the corners off myself is I'm doing fasted training. Fasted training is essentially when you train without any fuel. You get up in the morning, I'll do an early morning run, I'll do an early morning swim without any fuel. I might have a black coffee just to wake myself up, but I'm not putting anything in. That has the effect of the body forcing the body to look for fuel in fat cells rather than glycogen from the food. It's kind of metabolizing, my smart word. Um, and that does have effect of stripping off some of your excess body fat. So that's what I've done so far. I'll talk a little scores and adores about what that is, about how that is. In terms of my actual diet, as I said, aside from the snacking, which I've proven is my weakness, my diet's quite good. I'm going to show you what I typically will eat during the day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I won't list all the snacks because that's just embarrassing, but I'm getting on top of that. Other things I'm going to try is possibly a bit of intermittent fasting. I just need to get on top of snacks. I think the weight will come down. But we've started off and we've had a good start to it. So let's move on to scores and doors. So what we've all been waiting for, scores and adores. How much weight has he really lost? Okay, so last time we checked in July, we I was a cuddly 77.7 kg, and my CTL or my fitness value per training peaks per lance was in the toilet at 39. So, oop, oh, no, remove that way. That's going to test my editor skills. So now, this time, after a month's training, I've now weigh in at 75.2 kg, a drop of 3%, a little behind where I'd like to be, but we all know sticking your face in a cake is not the way forward. I did eat most of that, but again, I know what to do. The CTL is a bit more impressive. I've jumped up from 39 to 55, 40% increase, but still loads to go. Essentially moving in the right direction. So getting there, not as fast as I'd like to, but again, my triathletes, we're all impatient. So what's next for the next blog and what takeaways we got? Let's move on to that section. Okay, so key takeaways, ironically enough, not a Chinese or a chipper. And when it comes to weight management, you cannot out train a bad diet. So you gotta eat well and also snack in moderation or just eat healthily, even all those snacks. You've got to track what you're putting in your mouth versus what you actually need. And there's as triathletes and runners, we have this unbelievable appetite because we're hungry and tired all the time. But a lot of time we don't need that extra was a bit of food. Again, using something like MyFitnessPal and Training Peaks and Garmin Connect will keep you on the straight and narrow. Um, do make yourself accountable, even if that's keeping a food diary, if that's actually sort of was it checking in with your partner, or even just with having a bunch of friends that will keep on track. That will keep you kind of just just keep you honest. As human beings, we lean towards just the easiness of eating. Um, the other thing is adjust your training. As I said, there are things you can do. Faster training. Was it just on just deliberately under fueling for certain sessions just to try and get the fat stores burning? But again, also weigh that up against the possibility of actually making a quality section a session a poor session because you're trying to lose weight rather than actually increase your speed or your power. So not every session is going to be something to get your weight down. Work more of it in the base and your fitness point, but then also look when you're actually looking for hard, intense sessions when your body will need protein, macros, etc. Don't skimp on those. So what's next for me? I actually have signed up for a 70.3 in Germany in Duisburg. Apologies pronunciation. That's on 1st of September. So not only will I talk about my training and the way I'm adjusting that next vlog, I'll also give a bit of a little bit of a race report as well. So again, thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe if you're enjoying it. Hit the thumbs up. And again, I hope you're learning from my journey, having a bit of fun with me and all the rest, because that's the full intention of the vlog. If you want to check out the other one, my original vlog, it's going to be up there depending where I put the little end screen. But really appreciate you taking the time.